Oh, hello there. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Grammar Garage series. This is the class, Grammar Garage, where we work on all of those tricky grammatical things in English. Oh, so many difficult things. What we're going to try to do in this class is we're going to go back to something we did Tuesday morning. We didn't quite have time to do it, and I didn't want to focus on grammar because it wasn't a grammar class. So we're going to go back to our presentation from Speaking Skills, which was all about talking about your school days. One thing in particular is the past, the used to past. So we're going to be looking at actually, it's 6 different ways to use the past, but with a particular emphasis on used to and how it contrasts with the other ways we can talk about the past. So it's structure, used to, and simple past, and past perfect, and other things, but also how those translate into everyday meanings that you can remember easily. In this class, we try to do grammar in the least boring way possible. So we try to use a communicative approach. You're going to be reading a text or rereading it if you were here Tuesday, and we're going to use that as a way to give examples of everything you need to remember in the past tense. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Let's skip the introduction because we're a little bit late. Oops. And let me give you a link in the chat window, and then we'll get started. Give me just a second. There we go. And I'll put another link here in the Verbling, in the group chat, if you want to open this up. Okay. So what we need to do is, if you're familiar with the text, no problem. We can use it. If you're not, we should read through it one time because we're going to need to refer back to it several times in the class. So Frederic, you were here, you read the text, you probably remember. David, I think you weren't here, so we should probably review it once for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Is that okay if we just read through this one time, Frederic?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So David, we're going to read about our school days. We're going to read about a situation that happened 20 years ago. The name of the text is Bernadette, and this is an anecdote about our relationship with Bernadette back when we were in grade school. Okay, let's each take a paragraph and read through this. It's very short. It's just these two pages, about 6 paragraphs. Can you take the first one for us, David?
Sure. The things I remember most about my first school are the smell of boiled vegetables in the canteen, the noise of games and fights in the playground, and Bernadette. Bernadette used to sit at the front of the class, and she was perfect. She was the teacher's pet. She always got the correct answers. She was top of the class, and got A grades in all her subjects. I used to love her secretly.
Love her. Okay. The plot thickens. I used to love her secretly. Frederic, next one.
Bernadette was good at everything. She used
Go ahead.
she used to sing well in assembly. She played the clarinet and never made mistakes. She was the captain of the hockey team. She ran around the playing field faster than anyone, and she didn't used to get tired or sweat like the rest of us. She was too good to be true. I used to smile at her. I stood by doors and
I stood by
doors and waited for her to pass. I wanted her to see me, but she never even looked. Was I invisible? Did she think she was too good for me? That's what I thought at the time. But no.
Oh, wait. And let's go back to David.
But now I know I was completely wrong. I was looking on the internet a couple of weeks ago, and I typed in Bernadette's name just out of interest. I cannot read because it's some. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Eventually, I found her email address and I wrote a message to her, I guess.
See it now?
No,
No?
no. Can you see it, Frederick?
No, I can't.
No?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Now I know. I didn't get a reply immediately, and I thought that was the end of it, the story. However, a couple of days later, Bernadette made contact. After exchanging a couple of emails, we decided to meet for coffee. I was really curious to know what she was like now, the girl of my childhood dreams. But when we finally met, she looked completely different from how I remembered. I couldn't believe that I used to fancy her.
okay. He doesn't actually say how she looked. We just have to guess. But it must not have been too good because I couldn't believe I used to fancy her. Okay, let's take the last paragraph. Sam, you're joining us now. I don't know if you were here. I don't know if you were here Tuesday morning, but we read this text in another class. No? Okay. So we're going to be using this text to review different forms of the past and to allow you to tell an anecdote about your past. Could you read the last paragraph for us, Sam?
Yes. We talk a little about what we had done since leaving school and our lives now. She's married with 2 kids and has a part-time job in a supermarket. Then we started talking about school and we laughed together over our memories of those days. I was enjoying the conversation and confessed that I used to love her.
Not
I thought
confessed.
she would.
Confessed.
Okay, confessed that I used to love her. I thought she would laugh, but instead she said something which completely changed the way I see my school days. She said, I used to love you too, but I didn't say anything because I was too shy.
Oh my God.
Quack, 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 quack.
Okay, so we read this before in a class, okay? One of the things that comes up in the text is the difference between then and now, the difference between our expectations, the writer's expectations, and what reality turned out to be. So here's what we're going to do. Give me just a second here. We're going to be working on the grammar of the past tense, but there's a couple of things we should look at now that we've read the text as well. The first thing is this. Okay, so for David and for Sam, how did Bernadette surprise the writer? What was the surprise?
Well, she was in love with him too.
And he never knew it all this time.
Right.
How did that change the way he looked at his childhood? Sam, I know you missed the beginning of the text, but maybe you could answer. How did that change the way he looked at his past?
Maybe because of her conversation.
Right, but how did it? It's true. But how did that change his view of his own past? How did that change his perspective of his own past?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, because she is married with 2 kids and she live in a apartment and doing a part-time job in supermarket.
What's that got to do with his past, though? What's that got to do with him?
Yes, I think he both were in the same school, and they they
Well,
maybe.
let me interrupt for a second. Let me interrupt.
Mhm.
He was in love with her.
Mhm.
Did she?
But
Did he ever tell her in the past?
no.
He never told her exactly. Did he think that she was in love with him?
Yes.
No,
He
no,
thought.
no, no.
He
He didn't
thought.
think. He didn't think it. Exactly the opposite. He thought she hated him because she ignored him all
Uh-huh.
the time. But 20
Okay.
years later, he found out she did.
Mhm.
He was just too
Oh.
shy, right? So his whole childhood was ruined because he thought he was horrible.
Mhm. Okay.
And it turns out the girl of his dreams was just too shy to ever say anything to him. So
Okay.
there you go.
Uh-huh.
This text has lots of examples of the past as well, which we're going to use.
Okay.
One thing I want you to look at. Let's look at the grammar for a second now.
Mhm.
Okay, what I'm going to do is jump forward here. Okay, so in the last class we just started this and we sort of ran out of time. So just to be clear about the past tense, you've got two sentences in exercise 6. We're going to look at just used to for a moment. Just the past with used to. Bernadette used to sit at the front of the class. A, she sat at the front once. B, she sat at the front every day. And this sentence comes from the very beginning of the text, which is here on slide 2. You can see Bernadette used to sit at the front of the class, and she was perfect. She was the teacher's pet, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, class, is it A or B?
B.
B.
B, of course. Used to is a repeated action. I used to love her. I don't love her anymore. A. I still love her today. B. Class, A or B?
A.
A. Used to is an action that stays in the past. Okay. So far, so good. What is the difference between used to and the simple past? It asks us here to tick the correct rules and cross out the wrong rules. Well, you're just going to have to tell me. You can't really tick them. Okay? So let's each take one of these. Anna, welcome to class. How are you?
Thanks, I'm great. Happy to join you.
Okay. I want you to take a look at the first rule, and I want you to tell me if it's correct or if it's wrong. Just that. So you have to read the first part and then continue to number 1. We can choose used to instead of simple past. 2. Read number 1 and tell us what you think, Anna.
Talk about single actions in the past.
Talk about single actions in the past. That means things that happen at a specific time in the past. Single actions. Oh,
like if it's
continuous,
it's not a single action.
That's right. Exactly right.
Well, then I think
True or false?
False.
False? Why?
Yeah, because you can say like I used to.
Oh, you mean it's false. You mean you can't use used to talk about. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I confused myself by saying false. You're right. You're right. Well, let's be more clear. You can't use used to talk about a single action. Okay, we'll use can and can't. So Anna, you're absolutely correct.
So am I right?
Yes. You're right.
Great.
Great. Frederic, look at number 2. We can and we cannot use used to talk about repeated actions in the past. That's easy, right?
Yes, we can.
We can, of course. Okay, David. We can and we cannot. Number 3.
Number 3, to talk about stating the past, which is still true now. No, you cannot use used to.
Exactly. What should we use in that case?
The present perfect.
Present perfect is correct. Very good. Okay. Oops, give me just a second. I have to open something on my computer. One moment. Sorry, my computer's a little bit slow. 1 second, please. Okay, I'm back. Sam, we can or we cannot use used to in number 4.
In the past? Used
No,
to.
number 4.
Number 4. Yes. Um, we we can.
We can
Used to
talk
in
about.
past. Yes. Something is happened in past.
Yeah, are you looking at number 4, Sam?
Yes. Yes. I'm looking number 4. Talk about a state in the past which isn't true now.
Which isn't true now. So we can use used to for that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I agree. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, exercise number 7 summarizes the differences. Now here's a second question for you, class. Can the simple past replace used to? Is it possible to substitute used to for the simple past? Yes or no?
Say it again.
Is it
Yes, I think.
I got one vote for yes. Is it possible to always substitute used to for the simple past?
No.
No, because you repeat action, you can use in past.
Okay.
The key word you use is always. So no.
Yeah.
Hmm,
No.
I think you can.
I agree with Frederic. I think you can.
Yeah, if you specify a date or a moment, you know, a duration.
Okay.
Well, because the used to is only used when you is a repeated action in the past, like a habit in the past. So,
True.
so if I say I once played basketball, so I
Right.
cannot say I once used to play basketball.
That's not
Because
that's not the question. The question is, can you always replace used to with the simple past? Not the simple past with used to. Can you always replace used to with the simple past? Frederick says yes. I agree with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I got it
Yes.
around. Okay, I got it all around. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Yes,
the
of
other
course.
way around. So the answer is yes, you can. You can actually. But Frederick's advice was you have to specify the time. Well, let's be clear about that. You have to, the context has to show you that it's a repeated action. Just the context. You don't have to actually say always in the sentence or something like that. But the context, the sentence that's in a particular paragraph, the meaning of that paragraph has to show you that it's a repeated action that doesn't have any effect on today. So for example, I used to take the bus whenever it would rain, but I used to walk when it was sunny. Can I not say, I took the bus when it would rain and I walked when it was sunny? Can't I say that? It's okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
Now, if you really want to be clear, you'll say, I used to take the bus whenever it would rain, but I would walk when it was sunny. So you wouldn't repeat used to twice. That's what I said on Tuesday. Used to is great for clarifying the repeated action first, the first time you say it. The second time, the follow-up actions are probably going to be with would, so that you don't, because it's not necessary to underscore the fact that it's a repeated action. So you probably follow it up with would. The third time you mention a repeated action, you'll probably just use the simple past because it's already clear that it's a repeated action. For example, I used to take the bus when it would rain, but I would walk when it was sunny. I walked to school most days from when I was 5 years old all the way up until I graduated high school. So I say walked in the third time I mention a repeated action because it's so clear it's not necessary to mark the tense. We can leave it, when I say marked, I mean saying used to is a clear marker that it's a repeated action. We don't need it. It's clear. So think about it like that. Think about it as a system that works together. Used to is good for the first mention. Would is a repeated action as well, but it's not quite as strong as used to. Because as you know, would could also be a conditional. So it's got two different meanings. That's why it's not clearly a repeated action all the time. After the repeated action context is clear, just use the simple past for the rest of what you're saying. There's a little grammar box at the bottom to talk about the form. He used to love her, right? We've got the positive, we've got the negative, he didn't used to love her. Then we've got a question. Did she used to sing? I want you to put the sentence you see, sentence that you see visible in the box on the left has got to fill in all the spaces on the left, and the sentence you see on the right has got to fill in all the spaces on the right. Well, there's only one space on the right. Okay, so let's try that out. The first one, in the negative form, he didn't used to love her. Anna, you've got to use the sing sentence in the positive form first.
Not
The
really
The sing sentence, see it? Look at the sing sentence at the bottom of the middle column. Read the sentence at the bottom middle of the bottom of the middle column.
Did she, this one,
Correct.
did she used to sing?
Good. Okay, that's the question form. What's the affirmative form? The one that goes next to she used to love her. The one that goes in the top blank.
So I should make a negative form, right?
No, positive.
Positive. She used to sing.
She used to sing. David, what would be the negative form in the middle of that column?
She didn't used to sing.
Easy. Sam, on the right column, the sentence is, he used to love her, right? What's the question form of that sentence at the bottom blank?
Did she used to sing?
No, love her. On the right column.
Love her. Okay. Did she love her?
She or he?
He.
He, right. Did he love her? But you're missing the key word. The key word is used to.
Okay.
One more time.
Yes. Did he used to love her?
Good. Did he used to love her? And that's talking about the writer of the story, in the Bernadette story. So in this little grammar box, if you have any confusion about the form of used to, right, we've just filled it in. We've done it orally, okay, but you can print it out if you like, fill it in on your own. You've got the answer. Let's see how clear this is. I think there's no real problem with used to. I think all of you get the idea. But let's try an exercise to make sure. Okay, Frederic, I took the bus to school every day. I used to take the bus to school every day. That one's done for us. Can you use used to in the sentences? If you can, rewrite the sentence with used to. So take number 2 for us.
Bernadette used to eat an apple in the break one day. Every day, sorry.
Every day. You've got to change it to every day. Of course, it might not be true. If it's not true, you can't say it. But if it is, every day. Great. I agree. You've got to change the time reference to make it work. David, what about number 3?
Number 3. Bernadette used to eat an apple.
Oh, that's number 2. Number 3.
Oh, number 3. She didn't used to meet me. Oh no, she didn't used to speak to me when we were at school.
Okay, good. In the text, we know that she ignored him, so it's a true sentence. She didn't used to speak to me when we were at school. Okay, Anna, number 4.
I met Bernadette last Saturday. Well, we can't. How could we?
You'd have to change the time reference.
Oh, I used to meeting Bernadette on Saturdays.
Try again. Try again. I used to what?
To meet.
Good.
To meet Bernadette on Saturdays.
Correct. Because the first time you said meeting.
Yeah, and it was wrong.
Right. I used to meet Bernadette on Saturdays. That's how you could change it to make it correct. Of course, it's not true in the story, right? But that's how you would change it to make it correct. On Saturdays. Okay, Sam, what about number 5?
Yes. Uh, did you fancy anybody in your class? Um, you used to fancy. I don't know what does it mean that fancy.
Fancy is
Uh,
to 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 like, to have a
uh-huh.
secret, to be secretly in love with someone is to fancy.
Okay. Uh, you used to fancy anybody in your class?
You're missing a very important word. This is a question,
Used
right?
to. Okay.
It's a question, so you have
Uh,
to start off with the verb. What's the verb? What's the question verb here?
did?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Uh, you did?
No.
You does? No.
No.
You do you? No, no.
No. It's the
Uh,
past, not the present. Do use
mhm,
the present.
mhm.
Do put it in the past. What's the past of do?
Okay. So we make in a question, right?
What's the
Or
what's the past of do, Sam?
did?
Of course. So,
Mm-hmm.
did
Mm-hmm.
you?
Did you used to
Good.
fancy
Good.
anybody in your class?
Perfect. Did
Mm-hmm.
you used to fancy anyone in your class? Good.
So we don't use, sorry, we don't change question. I mean that it should be on question marks, right?
It's
We
still the
use,
question. It's still the
okay,
question, right? The only thing we needed to change was
change
that
used to. Mm-hmm.
we added used to
And
because
used to, okay.
you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about a repeated action in the
Action,
past.
okay.
The repeated
Mm-hmm.
action is being
Mm-hmm.
secretly in love with someone. That's the repeated
Okay.
action.
Uh-huh.
So
I thought that maybe we have to change in a affirmative like that. It's okay. Now you understand.
no. It just says if you can, look at the directions. If you can, write the used to sentence. And what you can do is either change the sentence so that used to makes sense, or if it makes sense already, all you need to do is add it. Got two possibilities. So, for example, I met Bernadette last Saturday, right? Well, last Saturday doesn't work with used to, so Anna changed it to on Saturdays, and that makes it correct. It's not true in the story, but it's correct, grammatically correct. All right, Mr. Frederick, try the last one for us.
How did you find Bernadette's email address? How did you use to find Bernadette's email address?
That doesn't make sense, though. Is finding an email address a repeated action in the anecdote that we read? Did he do it once or did he do it many times?
Hmm.
In the story that we read.
Oh, no. Once.
Once, exactly. So you can't use used to here. You can't really use it.
No.
It's not really possible.
No. If we are referring the text, no, we can't.
Right. It doesn't work. There's really nothing you can do. You can't even add a time reference to this sentence. It doesn't make sense. So it's just wrong. How did you find? Because it happened once. Yes, these sentences are supposed to be about the text, actually. Okay, look at the pictures on the opposite slides. How was is how was is different? That doesn't seem to be correct. How were things different? I really don't know what sentence that's supposed to be, but it's a mistake. How were things different? How are things different than 20 years ago? That's what it should say. For example, let's take a look at these pictures, and I want you to give me your answers. In some cases, there'll be a used to. Some cases, there weren't. Here is 20 years ago on slide 4, and here is today in slide 5. Okay, look again. Slide 4, 20 years ago. Slide 5, today. So one of the differences, the walls did used to be white. They used to be yellow. Can everyone see that? The yellow walls?
Mhm.
Okay, very good. So let's go around the room. Tell me something that's different from 20 years ago today. Look again. 20 years ago, there's today. 20 years ago.
Chair color is different.
Mhm.
Blackboard is different.
Okay, but say
And
that
door.
say that using the right past tense though.
Okay. Um, School. Okay. This is a right now, right? And it is a old one.
That's the old one, right?
Yes.
Talk about the
The wall.
chairs. Talk about the chairs, like you mentioned. But you've got to use the right past tense. Can you use used to talk about the chairs?
The chairs.
For the things we can use. I'm not quite sure that we can use or not.
Well, let's try
Because
it. Let's try it and see how it sounds. Tell me about the
Okay.
color of the chairs, Sam.
Okay. The chair colors were
Were brown.
yellow.
Or
Were
yellow.
brown.
Okay.
Yes. Yellow
Okay.
were brown or yellow.
Can you use used to in that sentence? Let's see how it sounds. Can you say the chair color used to be brown?
Yes. Used to be brown. Okay. The chair color used to be brown.
Okay, good. The chair color used to be brown, but today it's what?
Today, chair colors are green.
Okay, listen to me. The chair color used to be brown, but today it's green.
Okay.
That's
But
it.
today is green.
It's
Okay.
green. Because you said the chair, singular. So it's
Okay.
singular. Okay, good.
Okay.
That's a good example because used to works. The chair color used to be brown, but today it's green. Or the chairs used to be brown, but today they're green. Okay, Frederic, what else do you notice between then and now?
Children used to wear uniforms,
But today,
but today they do not.
good. They used to wear uniforms, but today they do not. Okay, David, what else is different? Look at this one. This is 20 years ago, and this is today.
The classroom used to have a blackboard.
True, but today?
It has a whiteboard.
Today it has a whiteboard. Okay, good. I don't know why that's funny, but for some reason that sounds funny to me. Today it has a whiteboard. It's true. Anna, what else do you notice? 20 years ago?
The class didn't used to have computers in it.
True. But today?
Today, the
It
different.
It does.
Oh, it does. Thanks.
Yeah, to keep it short. It didn't used to have computers, but today it does.
Oh, got it. Thanks.
Frederic, do you see the periodic table? Or something. It looks like the periodic table or something on the back. Do you see it on the back left?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, I see.
So, yes, I see. Do you see the map?
Yes.
Do classrooms always have a map in them?
Yes.
Really? Always? Every classroom on the planet has a map in it?
Oh, I don't know.
Sam says no.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, maybe no. Yes.
Okay. Do classrooms often have a map?
Yes, they do. Yes, they have.
Yes, they do. Not
Yes,
yes, they have. Yes, they
Yes, they do.
Okay. What's another way to say that they often have it? Not used to, but what's the one in the present? They?
I don't know.
Used to is for the past. What's the use version for the present?
Oh, I'd say they usually have a map.
Good. So, classrooms usually have a map in them. Yeah, classrooms usually have a map in them. Are we referring to the present or the past now?
Oh, to the present.
To the present. Can usually refer to the past? No, it can't. If to make it refer to the past, you have to really make the sentence complex, complicated. So, so the simple rule of thumb is
I can say, for instance, when I was young, I usually went to somewhere.
You can, but you have to be really specific with your time reference, or usually can't be used.
Okay.
So, the shortcut is use used to for the past and usually for the present, because you'll never be wrong. Can you use used to in the past? Yeah, but you've got to make the sentence really, really clear. Really clear. Otherwise, it'll get confusing. Okay, I want to point that out because people mix up usually and used to all the time. Okay. Let me jump forward here. So here's a quick summary of what we've done so far. You can see the forms in the box. The positive, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, used to. Get good grades, be shy. Negative, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, didn't used to. Use the verb to do to form the negative. And did I, you, he, she, it, used to is the question form. Notice the answers too. Did you used to have a map in your classroom? Yes, I did. Not yes, I have, or yes, I had, but yes, I did. So it's always the verb to do that's in the short answer as well. Okay, so that's basically what we just saw in the pictures that we just worked with. Okay, Anna, I want you to read A. David, I want you to read B. And all you need to do is use used to or don't use used to.
We
Blank.
blank those blue uniforms. Where?
Okay, your keyword is where.
We used to wear those blue uniforms.
Sounds okay so far. David, what do you think? B?
And when the boys from... Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. And when the boys from Don's school looked at us.
Looked? Didn't say looked. Look at the key word at the end. Sorry. The key words are at the end after this.
Oh, the boys from the dance used to laugh at us.
Used to laugh at us. In both of these cases, used to works. We used to wear those uniforms, and the boys used to laugh at us. Our teachers were okay, though. Our teachers were okay. Frederic, what about B?
They used to.
Wow. Our teachers were okay. They were okay. We liked the teachers. So, if we liked the teachers,
teachers were okay. Okay, they didn't shout all the time.
They didn't shout all the time. Could we say they didn't used to shout all the time?
No.
Why not?
Don't know, but it doesn't sound good.
It does sound good. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say it. They didn't used to shout all the time. It's exactly the same as, because remember, used to can always be substituted by the simple past. Always. But the simple past cannot always be substituted by used to. So, it actually sounds good. They didn't used to shout all the time. Or, they did shout all the time. Either one is acceptable.
Okay.
So remember, used to can always be replaced. It's okay, no problem. Okay, Sam, look at the next A and B. Mr. Hinckley was nice. He's our teacher. Mr. Hinckley was nice.
Mm-hmm.
What about B?
Did he used to teach history?
Of course. Did he used to teach history? Or did he teach history? Both are acceptable. Okay, we're back to Anna for A and David for B. Go ahead, Anna. A number 5.
That's right. Did...
Remember, this is a conversation, so the last thing that happened was Did he, Mr. Yankee was nice, did he used to teach did he used to teach history? That was the last thing we said. So the conversation continues from that. Did he used to teach history? That's right.
Did you use to go to his lessons?
David?
Yes, but I didn't get good grades.
But I didn't get good grades. There, it wouldn't sound good, would it? Yes, but I didn't used to get good grades. Or would it? Maybe that's okay, David. What do you think?
I think both are right.
Both are right. I didn't used to get good grades. It works. Both are okay. Because we didn't say I didn't get good grades in my 6th year of elementary school. It's not a specific time. Therefore, it's okay to use used to. It's okay. Okay, I hope that was clear. Here's one more, just to drive you crazy. Tick the correct words in each pair. Tick the correct sentence, in each pair. In some cases, both sentences are correct. Like this. We did sport. In American English, that would be sports. We did sports on Wednesday. It's okay. Because you could say, I used to do sports or I did sports. We used to do sports on Wednesdays. That's okay too. So both of them are correct. All right, Frederic, try A for us.
They had lunch in the school dining room. They used to have lunch in the school dining room. Both are correct.
Absolutely right. Sam, try number 2.
We had our school disco in the hall yesterday. We used to have our school disco in the hall yesterday. Yes.
Yes, what?
Yesterday. I think this B, because we are talking about yesterday.
Is B
So
correct
that was
or
past.
incorrect?
B is correct. I think so.
B is correct. We used to have our disco in yesterday. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No?
Oh.
We used to.
No. We can't use used to because it's a repeated action. And yesterday is a specific one time. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So A is correct.
A is correct. We had our school disco in the hall yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yep.
Okay.
A is correct. Because
Uh-huh.
remember, the simple past cannot be replaced by used to if it's a one-time action.
Mm-hmm.
But used to can always be replaced by the simple past because
Mhm.
the simple past also expresses a repeated action. B is incorrect, A is correct. Anna, number 3.
One year there was a fire in the science classroom. One year there used to be a fire in the science classroom. Well, obviously A is correct and B is not.
Unless
Unless it's a fireplace, right?
unless we set fire to the classroom every day, then B would be correct. One year, we used to set fire to the classroom every single day. Our teacher was really angry at us. Yes, you're right. B is incorrect because of 1 year. That's a specific moment in time. David, number 4.
Number 4, did you have a lot of homework? Correct. Did you used to have a lot of homework? Correct too.
Both of them work. Did you used to have a lot of homework? Both of them work. It would only be wrong if you said, did you used to have a lot of homework last night? That would be wrong. There's no time reference. They both work. Frederic, our last one, number 5.
My son went to Park School for 4 years. Correct. My son used to go to Park School for 4 years.
Now think about this before you answer. Think about it.
Incorrect.
No, I said think about it, Frederic.
Yeah, but
Think about it a little more.
You
You
can
pressure us too much.
Yeah, absolutely. You can use to go somewhere for 4 years.
You can.
Unless you went for 4 years, then
No, you can. You can.
you can. Yeah.
You can. My son used to go to Park School for 4 years because he used to go there every day for that period. That's why. Because when we say go, it's implied that you're going from the house to the school, and it's a repeated action. So it works. It works. I guess the trick here is that I know it's a specific time reference, but it's in the plural. It's not year, it's years. So it shows that it's in the plural. It must be a period of time where the action took place. So it actually does work. So the moral of this story is when you have a grammar rule, it really helps you to quickly identify which tense you need to use. But it's still a rule. It doesn't replace your need to think about the context, the reality of what's being referred to. So that's where we get into trouble. Because you see a specific time reference and your brain tells you, oh, specific time, simple past. But if you look a little further or a little deeper at it, you can see that, oh, well, years is a period. Repeated actions will happen over a period. So that's the problem. Anyway, 9 times out of 10, your rule will be the right answer. 9 times out of 10, it'll get you what you need. So it's still useful. I'm going to skip this. It's about pronunciation. It's not that important. I want you to listen to this, and then I'm going to turn the class over to you to tell an anecdote of your own. Okay, but I want you to listen to someone talk about an anecdote first. Listen to how used to is used. Listen to Antonia and Jeremy talking about their memories of school. Do you think they liked school? Okay? Listen to Antonia first. She says, I remember I used to sit by the window, and there was a heater, so it was really warm. And I used to sit and look out of the window, and sometimes the teacher got really angry. She used to say, "Pay attention, Antonio." I remember one teacher especially. His name was Mr. Collins, but we called him Collie, and he used to teach math. And he always used to wear really big ties, very wide ties with pictures on them. Math was my worst subject. I always used to get a D or an F in math exams. And Collie was angry, and he gave me extra credit work to make me do more work. I hated that. That was Antonia. Listen to Jeremy. Jeremy says, okay, well, my first school, I think the place I remember the most was the big room where we used to have assembly. A big dark hall, and had these pictures of old head teachers and things on the wall, and a piano. Oh, and I remember the playground. We used to go out there in breaks, and it was always raining. Another thing I remember is we used to have a uniform. It was a green jacket and gray shorts, and we had to wear these gray shorts all the time, even in the freezing cold in winter. Then there was the school trips. That was the best thing because we didn't have to wear the uniform. We used to sit on the bus and sing songs, and the teachers were always more friendly on school trips, so it was quite fun. Okay, do you think Antonio and Jeremy liked school? Didn't like school? One liked it, the other didn't? What's your impression based on what you just heard?
Well, Jeremy used to like the school more than Antonio.
Okay, yeah.
Antonio used to be bad at math, and Antonia, and she didn't used to like her teacher's response to her problems.
That's true.
Maths.
Because her teacher would just give her more work to do, basically.
Yeah, and obviously she didn't used to like it.
She didn't used to like it. Okay. Here, you'll notice some of the subjects that came up in the two dialogues. Subjects like the best and worst thing that they mentioned, the teachers and the pupils that they went to school with, remembering the building itself, remembering clubs and extras, special events, the classroom, clothes. All of these topics, or pretty much all of these, came up. For example, clothing. Do you remember what clothing one of them had?
Yeah, green jackets.
Right.
Uh,
He had,
um, Jeremy said that
Jeremy
they
had to wear a
used
uniform.
to wear uniform, and it used to be green jackets.
That's right. That's right. Do you remember that one of them had to go to, or remembered going to a special event?
Well, I do remember.
What was it?
Oh, it was Jeremy. He tell told
He
tell
said. He
he
said.
said sorry. He said that they used to go
Dark
together
hall.
in their room.
Assembly.
Say that again, Sam. A dark what?
A dark hall.
A dark hall, right? And the word was assembly, which we
Okay.
learned that on Tuesday. An assembly is when you get all the kids of the school together for something
Yeah.
special, right?
Mhm.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. There was an assembly. Talked a
Mhm.
little bit about the building, like the classrooms too. Antonia talked about the subjects, her best and worst. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to look at those. I'd like you to make a note. Could be a mental note, or you could write it on a paper. You could even write it in the chat window if you like. And I want you to think about, let's say, no less than 3 of those topics related to your own experience in school. So I want you to write a note for 3 out of those 7 topics. Okay? When you're ready, we're going to compare our experiences at school. And of course, you're going to use used to for things that happen all the time. So take a minute, 3 notes, mental notes, or write them down. And when you're ready, we'll go around the room and see what experiences people had.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready? Start us off, David.
When I was at school, in elementary school, I used to wear these awful gray and white clothes, like uniforms. My teachers used to be mean to us and to my other colleagues, some sort of classmates. But we used to have fun playing sports because we play hooky all the time.
You played hooky or you played hockey?
Hooky. We used to play hooky too. Yeah.
You used to play hooky. How often did you play hooky?
Once a week.
Once a week. Wow.
Usually it was on Fridays, the last period. We had, let's not go to religion. No, let's not to religion. Let's go and play. So we used to go to the basketball court and play away.
There you go. Frederic, did you ever play hooky when you were in elementary school?
I don't know what is hooky.
I didn't think so. David, what is playing hooky? What does that mean?
It means to skip classes to do something different. So you don't go to a class because you want to do something else.
Right. So basically, you get into a lot of trouble if you play hooky. Playing hooky means you avoid school. You are truant.
Okay.
You just don't show up. Okay? David had to wear some kind of a uniform. Did you have to wear a uniform when you were in elementary school, Frederic?
No, I didn't. No.
What did you have to do?
I used to work to go to school, and I live countryside, so there were a lot of fields
Mm-hmm.
with fruit trees.
Right.
Yeah, and obviously every spring when I went back to my house.
Say it like this. When I would go home.
When I would go home,
Mm-hmm.
I used to store some fruits, and then I used to obviously to run very fast.
Very good. Used to stole or used to steal?
I used to
Steal.
steal.
Yeah. because used to expresses the past. Used is in the past,
Oh, yes, yes,
right?
yes.
To
Okay.
is a marker for the infinitive. To steal is the infinitive.
To steal, yes. All
Okay,
right.
so it has to be a used to steal. Notice how we added a would in there, by the way. Because the repeated action is clear, you could simplify it and say when I would return home, when I would go home, or when I would head back to my house. So would allows you to say the repeated action without saying used to again. Used to is good for underscoring something new. When I would head home, I used to steal some fruit and I would get chased through the fields by the angry fruit tree farmers or whoever used to, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Anna and Sam, let's hear from you. Anna, you first. Tell me, what was your elementary school experience like? Did you used to steal fruit on your way home, like Frederic?
No, there weren't any fruits, and my experience overall was very unfortunate. I used to be an outcast, and I used to be picked up by other kids all the
Oh
time.
no.
Yeah.
You used to be bullied.
Yeah, I used to be bullied, and I used to be very shy and didn't used to like to talk in the class and to raise my hand to answer the question. Well, it was a very bad experience for me.
It sounds traumatic.
Yeah, it was.
And that's why you became a teacher.
Yeah, to revenge.
Very good. Excellent. What about you, Sam? Did you used to be shy when you were in elementary school?
Yes. I'm not like because as a girl, that girl never steal things and never skip school.
Is that true?
So yes. Yes. So
Where did you
yes,
grow
I
up,
used to,
Sam? Where did you grow up? You're
yes.
you're in Karachi, is that right?
No, 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 no. It's far. It's far from Karachi.
Ah,
I live in Hyderabad, yes. And yes, I used to. It's same as like this shy girl, and
I
never
used to be
skip
shy. Used to be
shy.
shy.
Yes, we shy. And I used to come every day to school.
hmm
Yes, I used to how we say that never miss class.
Let's try it like this,
Yeah.
Sam. We can
Mhm.
replace used to with would so
Okay.
that we don't repeat it so often. So I used to be shy. I used to come to school every day. I wouldn't miss any classes.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Okay.
miss.
I wouldn't miss any class. Yeah. Even exam
hmm
as well. Hmm.
You were a good student, a model
Yes, you can
student.
say. Hmm.
Okay,
Thank
very good, very
you.
good. So think about that as a system, everyone. Think about using those, especially those three verb tenses together. When you're introducing a repeated action, used to. Or when you're saying something really important that's a repeated action, used to. To give yourself more variety, switch to would. When it's not necessary to talk about the repeated action, it's necessary to paint a picture of what was going on. Just use the simple past. So I would think about it like that. Used to first, followed by would, followed by the simple past, right? I used to wear an ugly gray and black uniform, or gray and white. I forgot what you said, David. I used to wear an ugly uniform. I would often play hooky. We played basketball outside of in the basketball court whenever we played hooky, right? Used to, would, simple past. Think about it like that, and it will help you structure your anecdotes. If you'd like a little more practice, I want you to write up an anecdote, send it to me in the chat window, and I'll be happy to correct it and send it back to you. Give you a little bit of extra practice. Think about using all three of those past forms when you do it. Okay? Questions or comments, send me a message. We're going to stop here. I'll be back tomorrow from 12 to 2 for learning from pictures and language games. If there's a particular language game you'd like to play, let me know and I'll set it up for you tomorrow. Bye for now, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.